you use your time at the mic to not just celebrate her, but give voice to the meaning of her elevation for African Americans?
Well, let's just first say that Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson was more than prepared for whatever they threw at her. And she put on, in my opinion, a master's class of grit and grace and endurance. She could have had a room, instead of 11 Republicans and 11 Democrats, she could have had a room of 22 of the most outrageous questioning Republicans, and she would have persevered and overcome. But as a guy sitting in that room, watching the energy shift the way they were shifting it, I just felt the truth of so many Americans that we were feeling, which is they are trying to take away the greatness of this moment, the historic nature of this moment, and besmirch someone who I think is unassailable. But frankly, I wanted to speak to her and the glory of this moment and the extraordinary accomplishment that she made just by being in that room.
You know, you have a habit, which I think is, you know, a senatorial habit of saying, you know, my friends, usually about people on the other side of the aisle, my friend Lindsey Graham, my friend Ted Cruz, my friend. And yet they asked questions of Judge Jackson that were sort of beside the point when it comes to cases, when it comes to judicial philosophy. And it seemed to me I was watching two hearings in one. It was Judge Jackson's confirmation hearing, but why were your friends trying to relitigate the confirmation hearings of Justice Kavanaugh?
I mean, it wasn't even just that. I mean, some of my colleagues were going back to federal judge fights that go back almost 20 years. I was surprised that they mentioned one judge whose name I didn't recognize because I wasn't even the mayor of Newark yet, and Ossoff was probably still in high school. So there was a lot of grievance politics being aired there and a lot of buzzwords. What her leadership and ascendancy to the Supreme Court has to do with children's books and critical race theory. If you were playing bingo at home, Republican buzzword bingo, you would have been shouting out bingo every other senator, because they were just going through the litany of grievances, and many of them were going through, as you said, sort of outrageous attacks. At the end of the day, though, this was about her, and they couldn't take away from it. This is about a moment where we have seen in America 115 Supreme Court justices in our history. 108 of them have been white men, which in many ways belies the truth that we have had generations of black women who are qualified to sit on that court. And here is a woman with unassailable qualifications. In fact, more, if you just look at clerking experience or judicial experience, more than most of the people on the Supreme Court now. She is someone that was and is unassailable, and I'm glad that I believe, has been shining through despite their attempts to take her down.